isn't that true?
Set him straight, will ya?
Okay.
Well,
Well,
have
to get Mary Ann on again to clarify matters.
she's speechless. Because I'll say you're the only Greek person I've had on this show. She has to say, I'm not Greek. My husband is.
Well, have a great day and a great weekend.
Thank you, you too. Thank you so much for calling.
Thanks.
And thank you for all the support you've given us.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that support, and you had brought it up briefly, how about this closing of the county hospital? You said you were going to do everything possible to stop that, if you could.
Right.
What's happening? Anything?
Well, for Westfield, you mean?
Yeah. No, not the Westfield Hospital. The county home for the aging.
Oh, the county home. The county, okay. The county home. That's not.
It's headlines all over. I mean,
right.
that's all everybody's talking about.
That's not anything that I have jurisdiction over. That's the county home, so it's under the jurisdiction of the county government. And from what I read in the newspapers, I guess that they're in some kind of negotiations right now to possibly sell the home, and we'll see what they do. But I know that the home is losing money. I think there are ways you have to look at to
depending on whose figures you read. Some people say they're not losing money, actually.
Right.
But whatever. Not your jurisdiction. Why don't you just pass a bill and get some money up for them? You only need a couple million a year.
Just a couple million a year. Yeah. No, you know, I think that if that home closes altogether, that would be a major hole in the healthcare delivery system.
It is because 80% of those homes are Medicaid
paid.
Right. You don't have that in the normal structured hospitals. As a matter of fact, the New York State 30 years, 40 years ago passed a law prohibiting adding any new beds to nursing homes. Right. You're aware of that, I'm sure, and they haven't. They spent $19 million over in the...
But what, you know, and so I think what, just from what I've read, the county is looking at, if they sell it, it would have to remain as a nursing home. But one of the things that I'm working on has to do with telehealth and telemedicine and helping people to be able to stay in their homes longer through the use of technology. So there are some great things that are out there right now as far as telehealth, and I've seen them demonstrated.
Yeah, we did it right here one time.
Did you really? Yeah, it's awesome. You know, and I think about some of the different people who I've had the great fortune to meet over the years. One was Medora Ball, and she lived out in the country around the Otto area in Cattaraugus, which, as you know, that is country there. And she had her 100th birthday. So I went to see her, and it was a couple of days after her birthday because we were in session. But she was telling me the story about she went out to her front porch on her birthday, and there's a school bus that goes by every single morning, and on her birthday, she didn't know this was going to happen. The school bus stopped in front of her house. Every single window flew down on the school bus, and all the children sang happy birthday to Medora. And it was just great. And the reason that I bring that up is that Medora was able to stay in her home and have that quality of life because she got the services that she needs.
Yeah.
And nobody ever says to me,
that too.
Right, exactly. So nobody ever says to me, I'm sure they don't say to you, that I can't wait to go into a nursing home. Most people would prefer to stay home if they can. And so through the Rural Resources Commission, which I chair, we're actually doing a demonstration telehealth project that I got in the state budget in Chautauqua County, so that we can look at this and see how it improves people's quality of life, but also saves the taxpayers money because it's much cheaper to keep people in their homes than it is to put them in institutional care.
So a hospital is about $600 a day.
Yes,
and it's
incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
And so that actually taxes the taxpayers in the system too. So we're looking at very positive, very creative ways to address these situations, and I'm really excited about it.
Okay, great. New thought here. Energy. Tell us about NRG.
NRG, yes, I've been working very hard on that, and as you know, it would be devastating if we lost that plant for a lot of reasons. It's actually about a $40 million hit to the region. It's the largest taxpayer in the county of Chautauqua. It's the largest taxpayer in Dunkirk, so 40% of the city's budget actually depends on having NRG operating. It's about a $4 to $5 million loss to the school if they lose that tax, those taxes that NRG pays. And those are high-paying jobs. There's about 150 high-paying jobs there. So I've been working very closely with the governor's office to try to come up with a solution. NRG actually, over the years, recently has installed more than $200 million worth of upgrades so that it's a much cleaner plant than it used to be. It actually, I believe, when the federal EPA regulations come out, I think NRG would be one of the few plants in New York State that would meet those federal requirements. And so, and we need to have that power generated from Western New York. One of the issues that we face is that the transmission, you know, the transmission lines.
The wires, right.
Right, and they're not up to snuff. They need to be upgraded because you can't transport the power as well as you possibly can across the state. And there's a big need in New York City. The problem is there are congestion points on the transmission lines, one near Albany and one near Utica. And so the power energy that's generated upstate can't always get down to the market where it's really needed downstate. And so we're trying to fix that right now.
Okay,
But I'm
let
hopeful
me-
that we can fix the energy issue.
Let me take a bit. Jeff Zook, your microphone is on. We're hearing everything going on in the back room. I didn't want that to come over your conversation. Okay, yeah, okay, it was just in my ear, so it didn't matter.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about energy, and so what is the final solution here? You got to put new wires all over the state, or what?
Well, that's the long term, and the governor just had a summit on that to try to get private sector investment to do that. And so it was a very successful summit. People are brainstorming on how to do this. And at the same time, so it's a two-pronged approach. We try to keep the energy producers operating. And you know, one of the issues that has impacted this whole market has to do with the price of natural gas, because that has gone down extremely low.
Under $2.
Exactly, supply and demand. And so natural gas has gone down so far that any kind of generator that's not natural gas is struggling to keep up. So that's really the situation. But you know, I can't have Dunkirk decimated. I don't want to lose those jobs.
It would kill Dunkirk, wouldn't it?
It absolutely
would be very
would.
harmful for Chautauqua County.
Right, exactly.
As you say, probably a good percentage of our taxes come out of that operation.
Exactly. As
too.
I said, it's the biggest taxpayer in Chautauqua County, so it impacts everybody in this county. And that's why I've been working so hard on it.
Okay, well, I hope you're successful getting something done over there. I'm sure Andy Goodell's working on it too.
He is. You know, I have legislation that actually could be a solution, and as I said, I've been working closely with the governor's office. But basically what it would do is take the power that's generated through NRG and allocate it to the Recharge New York program, which provides low-cost power to employers, to job providers. So it actually would have a double hit. It would help grow jobs, and at the same time it would keep energy operating.
Good. Well, that, of course, both of those are primary in this area. Now, a couple other minor things I wanted to discuss with you. The question on New York State, the agricultural districts. Now that we're down congressionally, I guess we're going to be. I don't know. I guess we are now. We are in a. And it's the biggest business up here in Chautauqua County. Now, you set up the grape experimental, what is it? The
Grape Discovery Center.
Discovery Center. And this should help. You know, the grapes are switching, though, from just grape juice. Incidentally, grape juice was started in Westfield, New York by Edgar Welch.
I knew that.
And he was making communion wine for the Methodists, and people said they don't drink alcohol, so he made the wine without the alcohol, and people loved it, and it got going, and it became a craze. Everybody in the Orient loves it. The Japanese, it's their favorite drink, and the Chinese are just totally blown away. And they put in 55 trillion acres of Concord grapes in China, which are coming to fruition now, I might add. But this is a wonderful idea, and the wine. We're becoming a wine up here, a lot of wine.
Exactly, you know, it's a major driver of our local economy and the state's economy. So today, I'm going to the grand opening of another new winery.
Where is that?
In Chautauqua County, 21 Bricks in Portland, and I'm excited to see that. At the same time, though, I'm going to visit a farm. As you know, we've had some hard freezes. You know, the weather's been wacky, and so there were freezes of 10 nights in a row to the grapes. So you mentioned the experiment station too, which we were able to get built. But I have a grape specialist going to this farm with me today, and we're going to be looking at the grape crop and what the damage is.
Okay, well, the Bracks or Bricks, the new vinery, I mean, what is it, the new winery, they have a brand new gorgeous building there. And they have a big elephant, a yellow elephant kicking around there.
Well, that's good. It's unique, and it'll draw people to Chautauqua County, which is what we want.
Well, somebody told me they got to meet at such a location.
Excuse me.
And I said, where is that? And they said, well, you know, on Route 20, you see that big elephant? The one that turned, incidentally, was gray until this spring, and then it turned yellow.
Well, that's a novelty item for sure then.
And it's the size of an elephant. I don't know how they put that thing around. It's probably inflated or something.
But, you know, we've been working hard to develop the wine trail that we
Yeah.
have in Chautauqua County. And the other thing I've been working on is the state doing a better job at marketing New York State wines. Because we want the consumers to go into the store and say, I want a New York State wine. They don't always do that now, and as you know, we get flooded with wines from California, from Australia, places like that. But we have many fine wines, many great wines that are produced in New York State. And so we want to kick it up a notch because we'll never overtake California. They're the giant.
Although some of the New York State wines, especially in the Lakes District, have won major contests in Europe. I mean, some of our wines.
Exactly,
in Europe
we
are
have
great
great wines,
Yeah.
and, you know, so, and they're produced in Chautauqua County. So what we're trying to do is take that to the next level because we're the second largest wine producer in the country. Washington State is coming on gangbusters, and they may take us over. Virginia is coming on gangbusters, and we don't want that to happen. And so we want, you know, you think about it, we've got some of the best restaurants in the world across upstate, but also in New York City. We need to get the wine on those menus that is from New York State.
Okay, another thing that's been strongly suggested is getting them into our supermarkets.
Yep, that's an ongoing issue about
There
wine in
should
the
be.
grocery stores.
Yeah, there should be. I mean, I see no reason if you sell beer, you can't sell some wine, you know?
The issue with that is, though, and, you know, we want to totally, you know, increase the market share of New York State wines, is that getting the consumers so that they know to ask
Okay, well,
for New York State wine.
We'll finish up on wine. I want to thank you, Cathy Young, for joining us. Will you come back soon?
I would love
Great.
to.
Well,
it's always so much fun to be here.
Okay, well, we can talk more about the wine. I like that. Maybe we'll bring some in here.
What's in that mug, Reed?
Yeah, that's yours, incidentally. That's our new one, the new and better one. Okay, I want to thank Cathy Young. I want to thank all the callers. Sorry, last caller, we didn't get you in, but we'll get you in next time. I want to thank special people, Chuck Kelsey, Devin Taylor, Chris Burt, Randy Burt, Chris Remaker, Jeff Zook, Don Zenz, and last but not least, John Hamels, for helping out here. And all the callers that called and all the people that listen and view this, especially the ones down the week a little further. Most people watch it. You got the same problem I have. I got a tickly throat. Okay, well, thank you again, Cathy. And I want to say it's been a great visit. And you're doing a great job for us down there in Albany, I think. Friends, may all that is proud and true and noble abide with you on this beautiful day. I'm Reed Powers. That's the end of that.